on this week's FYI. The young inventor bringing electricity to his refugee camp in Gaza.
And the best friends who've raised thousands for charity to help kids in hospital.
It just put a smile on my face knowing that we were helping other children like me.
This is FYI, where we bring you all the latest news and we report on the stories that matter to you.
Yeah, and coming up, we'll be chatting to the Youth Winter Olympics team who brought back gold for Great Britain.
And I'll be checking out the funniest school pupils at the UK Kids Comedy Festival.
But first, we're starting with a really special story about best friends Hughie and Freddie. After Hughie was diagnosed with cancer back in 2020, the pair decided that they wanted to help the hospital that was treating Hughie. This is their story.
This is Hughie. And this is Freddie. And together, in our spare time, we raise money by running. Remind me how much we've raised again, Freddie. We've raised more than £347,000 for the Royal Manchester Children's Hospital.
This place is important to me because since 2020, this is where I've been receiving my chemotherapy. So today is a really special day for me. It's my last chemo of my acute lymphoblastic leukemia treatment, which is ALL.
Hey, are you? Good.
Ready for it? Last chemo?
Yeah, last one.
Yeah.
Chemotherapy, or chemo for short, is a type of treatment that uses powerful chemicals to kill cancer cells in your body.
Thank you, Ashley. Says I have finished my cancer treatment. Happy. Happy, yeah. It was a really scary time when I was diagnosed. I didn't know what would happen. I didn't really know what side effects the treatment would give me.
When I heard Hughie was being diagnosed, I knew it was going to be very hard for him. So I wanted to do something to be hard for me, but I knew whatever I did wouldn't be as hard as what he was going through. But it was just something to take his mind off it. I ran 2 kilometres a day for 50 days and I finished it with Hughie by my side.
So Freddie raising money, it really meant a lot to me when I was in hospital, and watching the total just go up and up and up, it just put a smile on my face knowing that we were helping other children like me on the ward. So Freddie's first challenge, I obviously was too poorly in hospital. I supported him whenever I could, but now that I'm a bit better, we've started another challenge. We're running 1 kilometre around every Premier League and English Football League ground in the country.
Including Premier League champions Man City.
So we've raised money for things all around the hospital, from the medical point of view and from just children having fun.
We've also raised some money to renovate this rooftop play area right here.
We've had a lot of recognition, we've won awards which we'd have never have thought and never expected. What we want to do in the future is just raise lots more money for other children's hospitals around the country. So not only here at Manchester, helping every child with cancer up and down the UK.
See what you think of this next story. If you have ambitions to climb Mount Everest, the world's highest mountain, we've seen reports that you have to bring your poo back down with you in a bag.
But is that fake news or fact? Find out later in the show. So the big environmental news is that global warming has gone above 1.5 degrees Celsius for over a year now. And I mean, that's never happened before. Scientists think it's really important to keep the temperature increase at 1.5 degrees, because when it goes above that, it can cause so many different issues. Even with it being at 1.5 degrees, we've already seen so many problems. You know, we've had loads of different floods and droughts and even wildfires.
Now, it feels like a lot of promises are always being made, but nothing quite seems to come of it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, world leaders did promise to limit the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees, but experts saying that they're just not doing enough.
Well, I've got another story. So we've just had Children's Mental Health Week, and actually Premier League footballers got involved. Two players, Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson, who both play for Fulham, virtually linked up with schools talking about and giving tips and advice on how to look after your mental health.
I remember when I was a kid, there was nothing better to take my mind off things than go and play football with my friends.
I think it's really important for people like footballers to speak out about mental health because, so many young people idolise them.
I mean, to hear from a footballer, maybe a young person is then more encouraged to speak out or to speak to someone if they are struggling.
Check out this model of the Eiffel Tower, made by Richard Plode. It took him 8 years and over 700,000 matchsticks to build. At 7.19 metres, it's the tallest matchstick building in the world.
After briefly being disqualified for apparently using the wrong type of matches, Guinness World Records changed their mind a day later and made the record official.
Now to the desperate situation faced by children living in war-torn Gaza, where the Israel-Hamas war has been going on since October.
There's a long history of conflict in the region which we've been reporting on since the start of the war. You can head to our website for more information.
Latest satellite images show that more than half the buildings in Gaza have now been damaged or destroyed because of Israeli airstrikes, including residential and shopping areas.
Right now, aid organisations are saying conditions are terrible for people in Gaza. Families are living in tent cities with little access to food, clean water and medicine.
We've got a special report from Hussam. He's been living in a tent in Rafah, and after facing constant power cuts, he's come up with his own solution to try to make life a little better for his family.
My name is Hussam Al-Attar. I'm from Al-Atatra town in the north. We left the north to come to Rafah on foot. It was a long and exhausting journey. We encountered tanks on the way. We were so scared.
Like thousands of other children from Gaza, Hussam and his family have been forced to move to a refugee camp in Rafah. They're living in a tent attached to an existing building.
We aren't safe in the camp, from what I've seen. There's been bombing, somewhere very close to the camp. Jet fighter noises terrify the kids at night. Because the camp had no electricity, I decided to make a wind turbine that generates energy to power a light. It took me 20 days to find the blades and wires. It took a lot of time to make. I tried and failed a lot of times until I made it work, which is the best I could do with what I had.
The energy generated by the wind turbines that Hussam made is now powering a small light for his family's tent, but he wants to do more.
I'll improve the turbine if I can get more parts, like wires and batteries, which aren't easily available nor affordable. I learned how to do this by watching videos on social media. They were helpful, but I'm offline now. We don't have the internet, so I can't make further improvements to my project.
Hussam took us into his tent to talk to his cousins about how life has been for them.
My nephews have to collect water from a dangerous area. They have to walk for half an hour to get water to bring to their families. They have to work collecting firewood. There is no way they can play. These are photos of our house. This is when we left. I feel really sad. Our house was destroyed, along with the surrounding buildings. They were all destroyed. Nothing was spared. I wish I could go back home and carry on with my education to become an electrical engineer. We are the same as other children all over the world. But because of the war, we don't have a peaceful life. We just want peace so that Palestinian children can feel safe.
Now, Now, the Winter Youth Olympic Games in South Korea have come to a close, and Team GB are back in Britain after having had their most successful Winter Olympics yet.
16-year-old skier Zach Carrick-Smith brought home 1 silver and 2 gold medals, and the curling team won gold medals in both their events for the first time.
We've actually got hold of Callie and Ethan, who have just won gold in the mixed doubles event. Hi both, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi.
Hi.
So for any of us who haven't come across curling, can you explain it to us?
You take it in team by team to throw stones up the ice. And well, the aim of it is just to try to get as many of your stones to the centre of the target. And at the end, whoever has the most stones nearest the centre wins. But it gets quite technical as well because the stones curl and they don't stay in a straight line, and you have to use brushes to change direction and change the speeds.
I was wondering why it was called curling. I mean, it sounds so tricky.
And how did you guys get into it?
Well, I got into curling from, well, my grandparents curled and both my parents curled and like my whole family curled. So it was kind of like impossible for me to not start curling.
And it isn't the most common sport, is it? However, it's quite popular in Scotland, right?
Yeah, curling's huge in Scotland because this is where it originated from. So there's plenty of teams and lots of ice rinks in Scotland, so it's a massive sport here.
So what advice would you give to someone who might want to get into curling?
I think just for them to join a club at their local rink and just get practicing, practice throwing stones and just enjoy it.
Now, of course, it's super impressive, but apart from winning gold, what was your favourite part of competing at the Youth Winter Olympics?
Just meeting new people from all around different countries and from different sports.
I think I just loved seeing the other sports as well. We went to watch hockey, ice skating, and the skiing, I think. That was awesome.
So congratulations once again, and we look forward to seeing you at future Olympic Games. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Check out this life-size model of the singer Taylor Swift that's gone viral because it's a cake. It took 38 hours to make and has been seen by millions online.
The baker, Laura Mason, made the cake to mark the Super Bowl, a big American football game where Taylor Swift was attending in support of her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. His team, the Kansas City Chiefs, actually won for the 2nd year running.
The Super Bowl was the most viewed US TV broadcast since the moon landing, with over 124 million viewers in America alone.
So Scarlett, what do you find funny? What makes you laugh?
Well, I've got to say, like, all those videos of cats and dogs doing funny things, they always make me laugh.
Well, I mean, there's a reason that so many of them go viral. They are pretty funny, to be fair. And I had a good laugh watching schools take part in the UK Kids Comedy Festival in Leicester. But who was the funniest school? Let's have a look.
Why did the chicken go to the gym? To work on his pecs. No? OK, all right, maybe I do need to start working on my jokes, but I'm here today to meet some kids who've been honing their comedy muscles and stepping on stage to see how funny they really are.
Are you excited because we have the best comedy sketch for you? And you. And maybe not you.
Comedy sketches are short, funny stories or performances designed to make people laugh. This competition started with 9 schools. Only 4 are in the final today.
Eating bananas. Sit back and open your mouth. Sticky breath.
That was funny, to be fair.
What are you talking about? Just how fair you are, Miss Fair.
These guys have been preparing their sketches since the start of the school year and are now competing in the grand final.
How do you think your performance went? Are you happy with it? Do you think the judges were impressed?
Well, because you're not actually watching your performance, you don't really know. So, like, you worry, like, have we done it good? Did we do anything wrong?
Did you see the judges laugh?
Yeah, like, we can hear them. Yeah, and I hope to never see you again. Bye-bye.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. They're about to announce the winner.
You are an astoundingly talented, hilarious bunch of kids. The winner, Foxton Primary School!
OK, so winners. How do you feel? How are you going to celebrate? Bit of singing on the bus, maybe? What's the plan? What would you say to anybody out there that's just watched you? They think you've done so well. you know, they want to get into comedy, what would you say?
You might feel a bit worried when you get up there, but it's really good fun when you do it.
The story that climbers of Mount Everest have to bring their poo back down in a bag is fact.
The mountain summit takes weeks to climb, and with no toilets beyond base camp, people have to go out in the open. And apparently the mountain is now starting to stink, so authorities want all mountaineers to bring their poo back in a bag.
The bags contain chemicals and powders that solidify it and stop it from smelling. So that's something.
Well, Scarlett, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really planning on climbing Everest anytime soon anyway.
No, me neither. Well, that's about it from us this week, but we'll see you next week for more top news stories. Bye.
Bye.